Well, it happened, boys and girls. 11th Hour Games has changed the date of the season 2 release because of the conflict with Path of Exile 2. Now, I don't want to be pumping tires here, but if you ever want a display of a big man move and how much 11th Hour Games cares about their player base, well, I couldn't find a more just unbelievable example. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, this also is impacted by them financially. This is a financial decision as well, and we'll get into that. But unbelievable. Last Epoch Season 2, Tombs of the Erased, has a new launch date. Season 2 will now launch on April 17th. And for those of you keeping track, that is 13 days after the release of Point 2 Path of Exile 2 major content update, which is happening on April 4th. Let's look into what they are saying here. Hello, travelers. We've recently learned that our friends in the ARPG space have chosen a release date just a couple of days after ours, which would divide the player base and hinder the success of our Season 2 launch. Last Epoch is still a smaller studio in this space that looks towards each of its launches as a way to continue to sustain the studio financially and work on the things we are most passionate about. It is with a heavy heart that we are forced to move our release date of Season 2, Tombs of the Erased, to April 17th. As we adjust our launch date, we invite our community to help us spread the word so that everyone can join in the Season 2 experience. A massive update to Last Epoch that we're thrilled to share with you. And this is from game director Judd. Now, first of all, hats off to 11th Hour Games. Now, do not get me wrong. They were the ones that were going to be penalized the most, in my humble opinion. And I know a lot of other content creators share this opinion as well. That 2-day gap between Season 2 and Point 2, Path of Exile 2, April 2nd, April 4th, there were going to be no winners, but by a mile, 11th Hour Games stood to lose the most. They are the smaller player. They are the smaller studio. Their game is only available on PC. Path of Exile 2 is available on all PC and console. So this is a David and Goliath scenario. This was only going to hurt 11th Hour Games more so than Grinding Gear Games and Path of Exile 2. So absolutely, this is financially motivated. However, this is a class act as far as I'm concerned. They didn't have to do this. They could have stood their ground and see how things panned out. Now, again, I'm still a firm believer that they would have not won in this battle. Like it said, like Judd said, they're a small studio. They rely on these big seasonal drops to provide a lot of income for their game and allow them to continue to develop future updates and the game. So this, I'm sure, as Judd said in the post, it comes with a heavy heart that they have to delay it. And I just want to say this, how much of a big ball move this is. And I just want to illustrate or highlight a lot of things that go in the background that maybe a lot of people don't think about. For example, there are dates, when the dates are picked, there's a lot of decisions like dominoes that drop that have to be made in order to adhere to that date. Making sure there's enough servers to handle the load of players playing that day, that week, that month. So there's this involves negotiating contracts, securing server space. The content creators, I'm sure there's content creators out there that are going to, that they're partnering with, 11th Hour Games is partnering with in order to promote the Season 2 content. I'm sure there are sponsorships there. The Twitch drops, that needs to be ironed out and signed, negotiated, and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of moving targets. I know a lot of people always say, why don't they just move the date? Because there are a lot of things in the background. So just kudos to Judd and the team at 11th Hour Games. This is such a big man in the room class act. Just hats off to them. Obviously, financially, they were going to lose the most, but just kudos to them. They didn't have to do this, but they did. And they call it like it is. They knew that this 2-day gap was going to split the player base, and they didn't want it. Now, don't get me wrong. Grinding Your Games in Path of Exile 2 is a behemoth of a game compared to Last Epoch and 11th Hour Games Last Epoch. This is David and Goliath, but good on them. They're going to reap the benefits of all their hard work by now moving this. And you know what the irony is, guys? I'm literally 90% done on a video that I was going to drop today. I was just rendering it actually about please Grinding Gear Games. Please 11th Hour Games. Please move your date to April 23rd. And then I see this drop from 11th Hour Games that they did it a week earlier, and now it's coming out on April 17th. So kudos. Everybody can breathe, and everyone's going to be able to, whoever wanted to play Path of Exile 2 on April 4th is going to be able to. They're going to get about 3 weeks in, and 2 weeks in, and then season 2 will drop for Tombs of the Erased for Last Epoch. So I just wanted to drop this and let you know about the recent announcement, and hats off to 11th Hour Games. What a class act. What a stand-up move. GG's 11th Hour Games. I hope season 2 is going to be a mammoth of a release for you guys, because you guys deserve it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.